Ways to Other Sports crew, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Welcome to Friday Night Footy. Bulldogs versus the Storm in this origin-depleted matchup. Well, I shouldn't say depleted. There's not that many missing. Not as many as we had missing last night for the Dolphins-Raiders game. But still, quite a few players out. Some big changes to the Canterbury Bulldogs squad. We welcome back Marcelo Montoya. How long's it been since we saw Marcelo? Quite some time. Anyways, welcome along, chat room. Who have we got there? We've got No This. We've got Chris Bradley. Aussie John. Clint 007. Ahoy there, mate. Let's make sure I haven't forgotten any channel members. Channel members, of course, get the first dibs. That's nice. Ahoy there, Clint. How are you, mate? And, somebody wants to know what my multi is so they can copy it. Well, the way that my multis have been going, probably wouldn't be copying too many of mine. That's for sure. Welcome along, though, everybody. Ahoy there, James Chaplin, 340. Celia, go the Storm indeed. Ahoy there over on the TikTok. Scaife97, ahoy, mate. Who are we backing? Well, actually, I did dive a little bit into the stats before the game, and I like to go on the lookout for some decent odds. See, here's the thing. Sometimes it's not all about going for the obvious choices. And what I'm talking about here is the man who's replacing Cameron Munster in the number 6 jersey, Keegan Russell Smith. This is only his second appearance. And I'm sure that his first appearance was a very, very limited one. But this is only his second appearance, filling in for Cameron Munster. And the Bulldogs have conceded 5 times to opposition 5/8 in this season. So, who knows? Anyways, all I'm saying is he's got some very juicy odds for any time try. $5.45, I think it was, that I posted in the chat. So, there we go. I've got him in there. Why not jump on board? Obviously, the Bulldogs have conceded a lot more in other positions, but I'm just saying for the value of odds, that's why I brought him into my multi. They're conceding even worse on the left and the right edges. So, obviously, Will Warbrick comes into contention. He always is when he's out on the field. So, 4 legs, Will Warbrick and Keegan Russell Smith. That's my 2 for the Storm. Also, we've seen in recent weeks, haven't we, how terrible Nick Meaney's been defensively, especially on his own goal line. But I reckon that the Bulldogs will look to get an opportunity here. I mean, they have shifted their backline around a little bit, but I reckon they will specifically be trying to get one-on-one opportunities for Bronson Xerri to run straight over the top of Nick Meaney, much the same as we saw Sean Russell do last week. So look for Bronson Xerri. If he gets a one-on-one with Nick Meaney, try time. Bronson Xerri is in the SGM. And, of course, Melbourne, defensively, around the edges, questionable. So that brings Jacob Preston into it. Preston's always a good choice for a try anyway, because we know Lockie Galvin loves the short ball off the hip to a rampaging Jacob Preston. So it's a little bit outrageous, but there is a method to the madness behind my 4 legs tonight. Will Warbrick, Bronson Xerri, Keegan Russell Smith, and Jacob Preston. And I can tell you that I've chucked a cheeky tenner on it, and the return will be over $700 should it get up. So maybe I should have loaded up on it a little bit more, but we'll see. J-Dog, ahoy, mate. The man, 11130. Bulldogs takes it, is the prediction over there. Scaife97. Munster is always an impossible task to replace, but I think the Doggies' absences are a lot bigger for them. And especially since they're still missing Viliami Kikau. Kikau's probably the biggest out for mine. I mean, Stephen Crichton's been in far from impressive form. He's a big absence, obviously, when he's not there. We will notice that Stephen Crichton is not there tonight. Bronson Xerri and Enari Tuala in the centres. We will absolutely notice it, but I just think what Viliami Kikau brings, he's been one of the biggest outs here for the Bulldogs at the moment. Jacob Kiraz playing fullback. That'll be interesting to see as well. D-Funk, ahoy, mate. Notice this, you're doing your first live stream tomorrow for the Wars game. Very nice. And very best of luck for it, mate. Clint 007 has got Galvin, Warbrick, and Fa'alongo. Sua Fa'alongo, always a viable option for any time try, but just not bringing the value for mine. He's such a regular try scorer now that I can't justify putting him in. Jim Jam, ahoy, mates. How many multis have we hit this year, and do I keep a tally? You know what? Considering that we have to promote responsible gambling and all of that, I probably should be keeping a tally. Honestly, I don't. Look, I do. We all know I do very small bets, $10 at a time. So, and it's just for a little bit of fun for the channel. So, yeah, honestly, I don't really keep tabs. I probably should, especially when I stand here and promote responsible gambling. One of the biggest parts of responsible gambling is keeping a tab on everything that's happening. But as I said, it's always just a little bit of fun. We chuck 4 or 5 legs on for just a little bit of a subplot to go with the streams. And it works especially well, especially if a game is rather dull. And we've seen a few of those over the past few weeks. And Zed, Gizzy, Rascal, ahoy, mate. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about who's going to win, who's going to lose. I just can't back the Bulldogs at the moment. I'm sorry. I cannot back them. They're in dire straits. They're on such a losing run, and I know that the Storm have been far from their best. But I just cannot back the Bulldogs at the moment. Can't do it. Until they win a game and give me a reason to start backing them again, and this could be the game. This should be the game. The Bulldogs should win. Will the Bulldogs win? Oh, probably bloody not. Scape 97. Yeah, third-party interest in the games. Exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Sharks games, I find it very difficult to do because sometimes you go with your heart rather than your head. The Red Knight, ahoy, mate. You got Preston for first, second, or third. Galvin and Leo. Yeah, nice. Moses Leo out there on the left edge. I've gone for Warbrick over on the right edge because I've only picked one winger. But I was talking about tries conceded earlier, and 5 times the Bulldogs have conceded to the opposition 5/8. I think it's something like 11 times to the opposition right wing, 9 times to the left wing. So I think you're pretty safe with Warbrick or Moses Leo, that is. I think you're pretty safe with either one of them, to be perfectly honest. As we approach kickoff in this one, I'm actually really looking forward to this game. Lachlan Smith, how good was the Dolphins last night? They were pretty impressive, weren't they? A severely understrength team, just showing their depth. And they're a serious contender this season, right? The Dolphins. I mean, serious contenders. Melbourne Storm down the tunnel. Ready to get underway in this one. Robert Peters says, I think the Dogs will win today. Up the Doggies. Junior Ryder, ahoy, mate. Very curious to see how Keegan Russell-Smith goes. And also, is Marcelo Montoya going to take this opportunity that's been presented to him? Bronx, SZN, you've got Sua, Hughes, Galvin, and Storm to win for 110. Very nice. Notice this. You dislike the Storm, but you hope they win because you dislike Gus Gould even more. Oh, poor Gus. Robert Peters, the Bulldogs are heavy favourites. Heavy favourites with the bookies. And I suppose that makes sense because you've got No Harry Grant and no Cameron Munster. Those are two massive, massive names to be absent. The home side, the Bulldogs, with their ChatGPT generated logo. I have no inside knowledge as to whether it really was or not. I just think that it looks like an AI logo. And working in graphic design for my day job, I know a thing or two about AI generation. So yeah, the Bulldogs, red hot favourites with the bookies for this one. Jacob Kiraz, he's wearing number 2 on his jersey, but I'm pretty sure that he's been listed in the team sheets as the fullback. It'll be interesting to see if there's been a late change or if that's the way that it stays. Will he be lining up at fullback? We'll find out momentarily, though, because this one's underway. Referee blows the whistle. Melbourne running left to right. Bulldogs will get first use of it, the home team. And it's Matt Burton who takes it and gives it off for the first hit up. Let's get this game off and running. I'll bring my team sheets up and we'll see. At the moment, Kiraz is still at fullback for me. So there you go. That answers that question. As the Doggies bring it out of their red zone, here's Leo Thompson. Gets a late offload back. And Kurt Mann on second phase bumps off the tackle of Tolau. Harry Grant wouldn't have missed that tackle. And this is a good start for the Bulldogs. Salmon up towards the halfway mark. Rectub 91, ahoy mate. Burton with a low flat kick in for the corner, and it bounces up for Sua Falongo. And Sua puts the jumping step. What would you call that? A leaping step? Preston doesn't fall for it anyway. And Melbourne have it on their own 20. Bobby Pusey, ahoy mate. Slow play the ball here for the Storm. Rectub, thank you very much for the heart me. Much appreciate that, mate. Cooper Clark bends the line, dragging Leo Thompson with him up towards the halfway. That's a good carry. And some front foot ball for the Storm. Early, Utiki Manu. Nowhere near the State of Origin squad this year, Stefano. Fifth and last. Hughes from 45 out puts it high. Kiraz will plant himself under it, and he takes it nicely. So Kiraz, no further idea of whether he's playing fullback or not, because he probably would have been positioned back there for it anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that. Any late changes that might have happened to the Bulldogs squad, because there's been a few, actually. Kurt Mann starting, but it was Bailey Hayward who was named originally in the starting squad. Marcelo Montoya, of course, wearing the number 20. He comes into the starting squad. Burton puts an early kick in from well inside the 40. And Sua Falongo, he's wise to it. He's back to take it on the full. Burton doesn't find the grass. Robert Peters, you're getting up to watch the St. George. Oh, you got up tonight to watch St. George, but it's tomorrow. As a good run here from Warbrick breaks the line. And he's taken down on halfway. Did I hear a bell for 6 again? No, I didn't. I'm hearing things. 40 metres out here, the Storm. Utikimanu straight up the guts. 30 metres out. This is a good set of 6 and great field position. King goes late at the back for Hughes. Dummies the short ball, and it opens up the middle for him. And Jay Hughes will stand in the tackle 10 metres out. Fifth and last. They go back open side. King for Utikimanu to put the grubber kick in. It deflects off the Bulldogs. Still fifth and last. Out to the left for Moses Leo. Bumps off one. Ducks under a second. And there's your first try of the night. Moses Leo. Put that down, honestly, to Utikimanu's grubber kick. Big Stefano, the number 8, taking the ball to the line, dropping it on the toe. It's the most shocking grubber kick you'll ever see, and it's led to a try. Marcelo Montoya back in the squad, and he misses a one-on-one tackle there on Leo. Misses it. He got the hit in, and then Kiraz couldn't cover up. First try Nice and early for the Storm. Moses Leo scores. 4 points to nil. Kick to come. What a start here for Melbourne. Mookie, ahoy, mate. What a plot twist. Nice and early. A Stefano Utikumanu grubber kick leads to a try indirectly. Melbourne up 4-0. Marcelo Montoya. Oh, what's happened? What has happened to that man since he left the Warriors? Like, I know that he wasn't necessarily the War's best, but I feel like he was a lot better. He just seems to have lost complete interest or ability to play the game. I mean, that was a simple one-on-one tackle. He even got the hit. Perfectly positioned, in from the side, shoulder to the hip. Nick Meaney from the sideline to put the Storm up by 6. Meaney puts it on target. It's bending, needs to hold its line. It stays inside the near upright. Nicholas Meaney with the conversion, and Melbourne leads 6-0. He's definitely lost motivation for the game, hasn't he? I mean, we can't really say that with any authority, I suppose, but we can say what we see, what we're witnessing. And he's been presented a big opportunity here tonight. And look, Moses Leo's a big dude, in fairness, but you got to make those tackles. RecTub91 says Storm as underdogs in this game is crazy talk. Well, such substantial underdogs. Like I was saying at the top of the stream, it was $1.75, I think it was, to the Bulldogs, and $2.30 maybe, or 40 for the Storm, which, yeah, outrageous, I thought. Betty West, ahoy, mate. Been raining here near the stadium, would be slippery out there as Melbourne take it outside the 20. Tolau from dummy half, catches some lazy markers. Doesn't get the 6 again, though, like he was hoping. King takes the 5th and last. 10 short of halfway here, the Storm on the back of points. Hughes steps outside the 40 and sends it deep. Kiraz takes it on the full and brings it outside the 20 for the Doggies. Back in possession. 6 minutes gone, 6 points to nil, the Storm. Great start for them. Can they keep it up? We have seen Melbourne on top in recent weeks. And, well, on top in a lot of games so far this season, and have a seeming failure to be able to go on with it and ice the game. So, as we know, plenty of time left in this one. A slow play the ball for Kurtman. Gets the 6 again. Max King with a late offload, pushing the pass, almost dropped. Salmon keeps it alive for Galvin, who turns it inside for Tupanua. And it's very scrappy from the Dogs, but they've got themselves in good position here. A set restart for the Dogs gives them this opportunity. Galvin goes left for Burton. Here's Sherry looking to get one-on-one with Meaney. He's dragged down from behind. That was a big conversation we had in the pregame, wasn't it? Sherry versus Meaney. Burton comes back down the short side, and it's lost by Preston. Scooped up by Suafalongo, but the referee blows the whistle. Sua was away there. Matt Burton switching back down the short side here on the left. They had a 3-on-1. Nick Meaney strips the ball out. Well, it was bobbled and lost by Preston, actually. Scaife 97. Come on then, Storm. Sat in the pub watching the stream, as again, not televised in the UK. Bummer that. Scrum down for the Storm. 10 out from their own line. Hughes feeds it. They go left for Howarth. His first touch, I think. First touch in the game. Tolau from dummy half again. Goes straight up the middle. Gets the pass off and nicely read as Clark is dragged backwards in a two-man tackle. Ray, ahoy, mate. Love from Nepal. Very nice. King plays it. 35 out now. A big run from, I believe that is, trying to see a number. I couldn't see the number, I'm sorry. Sean Bloor it was. Storm up over halfway. Fifth and last. Hughes will put the high ball up, you suspect. He does. Tracking back for it. Kiraz doing nicely at fullback. And he's met inside the 20 by Utikamanu and King, and he holds his feet. That's a couple of big boppers to be running into. Here's Montoya. Does a little dance in midfield and goes to ground just outside the 20. Sherry coming down this left edge. He's just looking up and searching for Nick Meaney, I'm sure of it. Kurt Mann fights away from one. Goes backwards and gives it to Salmon. Goes short for King. And we've got two Kings out there tonight, by the way. So there's Galvin. Cut out pass to the right. Fifth and last for the Dragons. Jeez. Fifth and last for the Bulldogs on halfway. Burton puts the high ball up. Falongo comes forward for it. It swirls around a little bit and he takes it nicely on the 10. Sua Falongo. So, what was I going to say? It'll come back to me, I'm sure. Otosilo, 4097, watching from Papua New Guinea. Panu Madang goes Storm as straight up the middle goes Warbrick. Set restart for the Storm. Falongo with space up the middle. Taking advantage of lazy markers around the triangle. 40 metres out from the line now. Halfway through the set, Utikamanu breaks through Tupanua and Galvin brings him down. Great work there from Lockie Galvin. Hughes goes short to Lasardi. He's picked up and dumped by Burton. King, dummies, runs at Burton, who makes back-to-back tackles. Fifth and last here for the Storm, 20 metres out. Hughes kicking across here, looking for Warbrick. Warbrick gets on the outside. The ball's batted back off Warbrick. No, it's batted, knocked on. Knocked on by the Bulldogs. Picked up by Bronson Sherry in an offside position. It's a penalty to the Storm. Spinner shark, ahoy mate. Yeah, there we go. Ball knocked forward by Rinakama. And Bronson Sherry picks it up from an offside position. Oh, Jacob Preston's with the trainer. This doesn't look good at all. Jacob Preston is holding, not quite, well, he's not holding his wrist. It's a little bit further up, the forearm. And the trainer is having a very, very good look at this. Oh, no. Our multi. And I mean, we hope he's okay too, of course. But our multi. Jacob Preston. Time is off. As he is getting attended to in back play. A little bit of tape and magic spray. He'll be all good. You know, players in the 80s used to play with broken jaws. There we go. We've just seen a replay of what happened as he went in hard for a tackle and the knee of the ball runner smashing straight into the forearm. Here come the Storm now. Lasardi plays it 10 metres out. Hughes heads across to the left. And a nice inside ball there from Russell Smith for Sean Bloor on the burst. 5 metres out, Tolau heads across field. Short ball to King. 5 metres out here on play 3. Building nicely the Storm once again. Keegan Russell Smith, dummies, takes the line on. He's half a metre out. Oh, I thought we were on for sure. Tolau fires the Harbour Bridge ball over the top. It's plucked out of the sky by Montoya. Bulldogs back in possession. And Preston's leaving the field. Oh, Jacob Preston, I believe, is done for the night. He's over on the sideline. He's leaving. He's off. Oh, that's massive. Huge. As Sherry gets on the outside of Meaney, who comes back at him and drags him down. 10 short of halfway. We talked about that matchup. Bronson Sherry will fancy his chances. Jacob Preston was on the sideline. And I think he got some bad news. Fifth and last. Galvin gets the kick away downfield. And a take at the back there for Moses Leo, who heads back infield. Beats, oh no, he doesn't quite beat the kick chase of Leo Thompson. 10 out from their own line here, the Storm. All eyes on Jacob Preston. And I cannot see, he was on the sideline. And he looked very, very unimpressed with the trainer, who seemed to be talking him into leaving the field. And I can see Harry Hayes is on the field. That seals it. Jacob Preston has left the park. Harry Hayes is out there, which suggests to me he's on for Preston as Hughes kicks from inside the 40. Gets a nice angle on it. It heads towards the 20. Batted back in. And it sets up for Moses Leo to scoop it up and score untouched. Jerome Hughes with the 40-20. Enari Tuala bats the ball back in field, falls over the sideline, and Moses Leo is the only kick chaser through. Son of a bitch, he's got a double in the first half. He is the only kick chase. Enari Tuala, for some reason, just taps it back. Didn't realise that the only kick chaser was a Melbourne Storm jumper. The only thing that might save him from severe embarrassment here is if his foot was touching the line already when he batted this ball back in. Joshua Stewart says, a fact, no pain having broken jaw. The bottom bone has no pain. Weird but true. Well, there you go. I've never broken my jaw before, so that is a fascinating fact. Jerome Hughes attempting the 40-20, would have pulled it off. Enari Tuala batting the ball back in field. The try has been confirmed. Meany from right beside the posts will convert. And Melbourne leading this game 12 points to 0. What a start it is for the underdog visitors. And Enari Tuala there, I mean, you've got to have awareness. That's the thing. You have to have awareness. All that was in his mind was, I have to save this 40-20. A quick look back over his shoulder, he would have seen and summed up the situation and said, there's only one kick chaser right now, and it's a Melbourne Storm jumper. I probably should just accept the fate here. And we'll cop the 40-20 as the rain looks like it's plummeting down here. 20 metres out from their own line, the Melbourne Storm on the back of more points. And it does look like it's absolutely belting down. Big score incoming, says Rectub. Lasardi takes tackle 4, 35 metres out. Chris Bradley, ahoy mate. The puppies are going from worst to pathetic. The man, 11130, like I said, 12 and 32. Bulldogs takes it. Slow play the ball here from Farlongo on the 5th and last. Hughes gets another good kick away. And it's taken on the full this time by Kiraz. They're not going to let the ball bounce. And Kiraz again maintains his feet on the kick return. Must be a hard man to put down. Renakama bends the line through the middle, taking on Trent Tolau. Kiraz goes again, beats the tackle of Tolau, pops it back for man. Galvin in midfield for Montoya, and this is just an easy shift now for the outside man, and Tuala dragged down from behind inside the Storm half. Tupanoa charging onto it. Good defense from Moses Leo, so he's scoring tries and he's making tackles as well. Galvin will kick early here on play 4. I don't know why, because Sil Falongo was back there to cover it off. And the ball taken dead by Sur Falongo, so it does yield a result. As he tried to shadow that ball over the dead ball line. So they got a result out of it, the Bulldogs. Goal line restart here for the Storm. Sewer sends it long. Well, sends it mid-range. And it's taken by Jamin Salmon 30 metres out from the line. Storm up 12 points to 0, but the Bulldogs have an opportunity now. Max King inside the 20. Burton back inside it goes for Bronson. Cherry angling over to the right sideline before he straightens. A set restart too for the Bulldogs. Galvin drops it off inside for King to go again. 5 metres out. Man into dummy half. Galvin, the double pump going short for Thompson. 5 metres out from the line. Oh, the crash ball for Tupanua, the big man on the burst. A metre out. Galvin to Burton, who puts the grubber kick through, sits up for Falongo on the try line, and he surrenders to Burton just a couple of metres out. And they've spilt the ball here on play 2. Thompson picks it up for the Dogs. 0 tackle. Galvin wants it out on the right. Dummies and comes back in field. Kurtman gives it up to Harry Hayes. 10 metres out. Big mistake, that one from the Storm. Burton, dummies, takes the line on. Hughes from the front and Lasardi from behind. Sherry goes out of dummy half, heading across field. He loves the sideways run. Bronson, he used to do that at the Sharks too. Used to drive me crazy. Galvin goes out the back for Tuala, who beats the first man. Slides across the line, Enari Tuala. Momentum takes him there across the wet turf. And it was Lockie Galvin with the double pump, the pass out wide. Enari Tuala gets through the one-on-one tackle. And the try scored. Will Warbrick, who drops the ball. Will Warbrick with the drop ball. And there it is. Galvin dummying short for Tupanua. Sends it out wide to Enari Tuala. And the try is scored. Bulldogs hit back. There you go. The man, 11130 over on TikTok. Made the call a couple of phases ago. Big hit back there for the Bulldogs. 12 points to 4. Only just got there. Scaife 97 says, everyone get your life savings on the Storm before the odds catch up. Try confirmed. The Doggies are indeed on the score sheet. Robert Peters, Matt Burton with the conversion attempt. And 1973G, ahoy mate. Matt Burton from the sideline, 5 metres in from touch. He puts it on target. It holds its line down the middle. Matty Burton with the conversion. 12 points to 6. A much-needed try for the Bulldogs. Skorenix, ahoy mate. Far along or better score or else, says Skorenix. Oh, Will Warbrick has now left the field as well. Okay, this is one of those nights where everybody in my multi is cursed. Will Warbrick has just been spotted walking up the tunnel. We've already lost Jacob Preston out of this game, and now Warbrick. That's 2 out of my 4 legs. Well, that bet is definitely getting voided. A kick on play here. A play 3 here for the Bulldogs. And it sits up for Farlongo inside the 10. 12 point... Oh, here we go. Breaking news. Broken forearm for Jacob Preston. So that will obviously be his night done. Broken forearm. And we'll get word soon, I'm sure, as to what's happened to Will Warbrick as he was seen walking up the tunnel. A good carry here from Meaney, straight up the middle. Just short of halfway. Quick play the ball to boot as well. Tolau goes short for Tikamanu. 40 metres out now, the Storm. 5th and last. Hughes will put the high ball up. Storm chasing through, but it won't be soon enough. Easy take at the back for Kiraz. 18 minutes to go in this opening half. 12 points to 6. It was all Melbourne pretty early on. But the Bulldogs have managed to wrestle their way back into this one. Burton dummies and almost scoots through. The gap just closes in on him. Hughes shuts it down. But the Bulldogs looking good now. Bronson Cherry up to halfway. Manuel Snow, ahoy mate. Slow play the ball here for Sherry. 2 tackles left for the Doggies. Hayes in midfield. Will take it up to the 40. 5th and last. They go right for Galvin to put the high ball up. Now this is a contestable one. Lands on the 20. Taken by Montoya. Back in field for Tuala. He gets the second kick in. And Suafalongo takes it on the goal line. Bringing it back to the 10. Did he cop a high shot there, Sua? Yes, he did. High contact from Galvin. And a penalty to the Storm. Ethan Hemmingson, ahoy mate. Melbourne fine touch, 10 short of half. Well, actually, it's gone beyond 10 short of halfway. That was a hell of a kick. Ahoy there, Bolladol. They find touch inside the Bulldogs' half. That was a great kick. Jerome Hughes. 40 metres out from the line. They can go on the attack. Sean Bloor. Taken around the legs. Infield for Old McDonald. 20 metres out from the Bulldogs' line. Can they shift this game back in their favour, the Storm? Short ball from Hughes to Atikamanu. 10 metres out. 2 tackles left. Tolau sends it left for Hughes. Holds it up nicely for King. And Josh King breaks through. A poor attempt at tackle from Tupanua. And that is perfection from Jay Hughes. Holds that ball up, timing it to perfection to put King through a big gap. And Josh King. That's a big try, that one. Tupanua was just hanging back a little bit too much. Hughes ran it to the line perfectly. Try confirmed. 16 points to 6. Kick to come. Nick Meaney takes his time with this one, puts it on target again. 18 points to 6. Melbourne. Back on top in this one. So Jacob Preston, a broken forearm. That's his night done, and we've got to get an update on Will Warbrick. Last seen walking up the tunnel. Absolutely no idea what's potentially happened to him, but as the Bulldogs get us back underway, 18 points to 6, 14 and a half to go until the break. Celia, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Much appreciated. All the way from the Philippines. Melbourne Storm supporters everywhere, literally all over the world. Lasati runs into a brick wall, but then he fights through on the second attempt. Manuel Snow reckons it'll be very funny if the Dragons beat the Bulldogs. Oh, man, I tell you what. The feeling it would be for whoever that first team is that loses to the Dragons, huh? Fifth and last. Hughes on halfway. Puts the high ball up. Doesn't get the hang time he would have liked, and it's taken easily at the back by Kiraz. But they drive him backwards here in a three-man tackle before the referee calls held. Scaife97 says, with Preston ruled out now, do the Doggies have any of their elites left? Might need a one-armed Jacob Preston. It should take him one arm over most of the Doggies team anyway. Yeah, they're certainly down on troops. As a slow set of 6, this one for the Dogs. Galvin. Dummies to Tupanua. It's out the back for Kiraz. Well wrapped up by Keegan Russell Smith. 10 short of the halfway line here on the fifth and last. Yes, Kaya. Warbrick did get injured, it looks like. We don't know the extent of the injury just yet. As the kick downfield, Meany lets it bounce. That's dangerous, but it does roll all the way over the dead ball line for a 7-tackle set. It worked out all right for him. It worked out okay for him in the end. Risky stuff. Seven-tackle set here for the Storm. Moses Leo targeting Lockie Galvin in the defensive line. Galvin gets some help from Tupanua. And as soon as Tupanua was involved, he might have regretted that decision. 10 short of halfway. And it's been tough going here for the Storm this set of 6. Joey Chan up to halfway. It's a good thing for them. They've got that extra tackle. Toll out. Takes a couple of steps before linking up with Utikimanu. And they're back in the Bulldogs half. 40 metres out. Suafalongo up the triangle he goes. Looks to flick it over the top. Common sense prevails and he holds on. Fifth and last. 30 metres out. Hughes puts the high ball up. Kiraz backs up to his goal line and then attacks. And takes it nicely. Maintains his feet in the tackle again. Kiraz. Rinakama. Taken by McDonald. And again, this is tough going for the Bulldogs. Trapped inside their own 20. And it's play 3. Montoya gets them out of the red zone. And plays the ball to nobody. Kiraz scampers up and gets there just in time. Heads off down the right edge. Gets the late offload back for Galvin. Space opens up for Lockie Galvin. Spins out of the tackle. And he heads back in field now. Running sideways on the halfway line. Surrenders in the tackle for fear of giving up an obstruction. Fifth and last for the Dogs on halfway. Burton. The high left boot. Oh, it's a hanger. Sure, Falongo's under it and takes it nicely. And then he does his traditional leap as he heads back in field. Meany bringing it out of the red zone here for the Storm. Buck Rogers, thank you very much for the heart me. Cheers, mate. Heading sideways a little bit here, the Storm, but Moses Leo fights his way through, starts to go forward. And they're halfway through their set now on the 30-metre line. Yes, Robert Peters covering the games tomorrow. A kick from inside the 40 from Tolau. Doesn't quite get the angle on it. Kiraz gets across, picks it up on the 10-metre line, and he'll head back into midfield and throws the pass out to Montoya on the right. Montoya tries to spin under the tackle of Shawnee Blore. And he's taken down right on the 20-metre line here for the Bulldogs. Interesting stuff. So, yeah, Robert Peters definitely doing the games tomorrow. Sherry gets on the outside and sends Renakama down the left edge. Stepping away from Faulongo, but Faulongo trips him up and he's taken into touch. Oh, he stays in the field of play, says the touchy. Burton, 30 metres out, sends it in field for Galvin. Bronson Sherry finally got himself that one-on-one down the left edge, and they've spilt the ball. Faulongo comes away with it, gives it to Hughes, and he's taken down by Bronson Sherry. The Bulldogs cough the ball up halfway through the set after a line break. Bronson Sherry finally getting that one-on-one and sending Renakama away. He's been trying all half. Halfway line here for Joe Chan. Slow play the ball on tackle 3. And straight up the middle goes Lasardi. A good strong carry. Sweet pea, ahoy mate. Absolutely, we're covering State of Origin. It is the return of the old Panther for State of Origin number 1. Fifth and last, Hughes runs it to the line before he puts the high ball up. Renakama's under it, and he loses it out the back. Kiraz dives on it. And penalty to Melbourne for the kick chase being pushed out of the contest to the ball. Penalty to the Storm. 18 points to 6 up, approaching the halftime break. What do they do here? It's out wide. Onto the field comes Gabriel Satrick. Oh, they've tapped and gone here. So it looks like Trent Tolau's been given the hook. And Gabriel Satrick is on the field. Just a couple of meters out from the line here. Satrick fires it over to Hughes, and the ball is bobbled by Alec McDonald, who is then crunched in the hit. The Bulldogs come away with it. Huge goal line defense. That was a monster of a hit. McDonald bobbles the ball, and as he's reaching out to collect it, Jack Underhill goes boom. The trouble is, poor Alec McDonald, he had done so well to actually regather the ball. I reckon he's regathered that, but then the hit dislodges it. So he's bobbled the ball cold, and then the poor son of a bitch just gets whacked. Loses it anyway. That was a big and important defensive effort there from the Dogs approaching half-time. A set restart. Did I hear the bell? No, yes, I did hear the bell. 6 again for the Dogs. Galvin does the drop-off there to Underhill. And after that hit that he made, that was a rather innocuous hit-up. Kiraz fights his way, bending the first line, takes it up to the halfway line. Hayward to Galvin, goes out the back and finding some space now, some gaps opening up in the Storm defense. Thompson plays at 40 meters out. Burton for Kiraz, quick hands. They've got a 2-on-1. Sherry steps back inside the weak shoulder of Hughes. And he pops it back up off the deck for Hayward. Back in field it goes. 10 meters out for the Bulldogs. Fifth and last. Numbers out to the right. Galvin for Burton. Goes short for Tuala. And it's well defended by Moses Leo. Crucial tackle there from Moses Leo. Try saver. as Howarth now doing the hard yards out of territory. Will Warbrick, last we saw him, going up the tunnel injured. Looks like it's probably his night done as Moses Leo loses his pants. 10 short of halfway. Hughes on tackle 4, puts the kick downfield, gets a nice little bend on it, and it sits up for Montoya on the 20-metre line. Marcelo bumps off the tackle of Satrick, heads infield now, running sideways, and then he straightens. Joe Chan will bump him down with Alec McDonald, and now Rinakama has a go. Targeting Nick Meaney. Warbrick sitting on the sideline. He's still got his jersey on, importantly. He hasn't swapped his clothes out for the trainers. He's got a jacket on, but he's still got his jersey on underneath. So potentially Warbrick not completely ruled out of this game just yet. Hayward goes right for Galvin. Short ball for Tupanua this time, and he breaks the first tackle, falling 40 metres out. Fifth and last. Galvin puts the high ball up. Faulongo attacks it on the 20 and takes it well. Sua Faulongo flying through the air and taking that high ball. Great effort, especially in these conditions, slippery conditions. As Russell Smith's been taken out unintentionally in back play. One of the Bulldogs missed the tackle and he went flying through and accidentally swept out the feet of Keegan Russell Smith. A good carry up the middle from Davey Moale. Fifth and last on halfway. Hughes wants it down this right edge. Gets a nice little kick over the top and bounces it into touch. 2 minutes 50 to go until the break. Just wants to wind the time down. Jerome Hughes. Bulldogs will bring it back into midfield. Can somebody come up with some points before the break? Thompson looks for the late offload, goes to ground. Hayward to Underhill, beats the first tackle, fends off another. Underhill's up over halfway. Hayward brings it back inside for Galvin. Out the back for Burton. They shift left. Burton dummies and straightens, though. And Hughes will put him down 25 metres out. 2 tackles left. They'll obviously get to the end of set here, the Bulldogs. Kiraz in midfield. And again, he stands. Jacob Kiraz, so hard to get to ground. Fifth and last. Galvin, 10 out in front of the post. Dummies. Gets the awkward little grubber kick in behind the line. And it will roll into touch a metre out. Melbourne, a simple handover. A minute and a half until the break. 18 points to 6. The Storm getting the job done at the moment. Jabati says Galvin contributed to much of the West Tigers' consecutive wooden spoons. Congratulations to the Bulldogs. What a masterclass recruitment. Notice this, says Underhill looks like a clan, looks like a clan leader. Freaking polar bear looking Viking dude. Jeez. Notice this. No diss coming in with a hard diss. A real diss. Fifth and last for the Storm here on halfway. Lasardi plays it. Hughes is going to run it here. Pops the ball up for Chan. Back infield it goes for Satrick. Kicks over the top. And it's scooped up on the bounce by Kiraz at the back. Gives it inside for Rinakama, who slips and is taken down on the 20-metre line. 18 seconds to go in this first half. Montoya taken down. Max says the Dogs haven't won a game ever since they beat the Panthers. Exactly. That's what I find so fascinating. And they've basically just said, we're done. Halftime here. 18 points to 6 at the break in favour of the Melbourne Storm. An impressive first half effort, but I'll tell you, we have seen this story play out before, haven't we? Melbourne go in with halftime leads, come out and have awful second halves and surrender it. Let's see how they go in the second half here tonight. 2 converted tries in the modern game is nothing really, but then the Bulldogs, who have struggled to score points or struggled to score tries, it might be enough against the Doggies. Manuel Snow says, one thing I don't understand, why is the media so overhyping Galvin? He has nothing special, just basic playing his halfback skills. Well, I mean, in fairness, the media's got to have somebody to pump up, don't they? I mean, I'm starting to get the impression that they're... I mean, remember, what we hear about Lachie Galvin now, this is exactly what it was like about Reece Walsh, right? Reece Walsh this, Reece Walsh that. No matter how bad he played, Reece Walsh this, Reece Walsh that. They've got to have somebody to... There's, in every story, there's got to be a hero, there's got to be a villain, there's got to be a poster boy, and there's got to be somebody that everybody dumps on. I mean, it's characters. It's just like every other TV show, characters. The media chooses who those characters are. So, yeah. It is interesting, though, the players that they choose to hype up, the players that they choose to just kind of bring down a little bit and keep at a certain level. But yes, it's all media-driven narrative at the end of the day. I mean, pretty much things speak for themselves when push comes to shove. Craig Howarth, ahoy, mate. Welcome along. 18 points to 6 in favour of the Storm. For those just tuning in, 2 tries to Moses Leo and 1 to Josh King. And a try for Enari Tuala for the Bulldogs. Gamer Mel, ahoy. Let's go Melbourne. Yoga for you. Ahoy there. Let's go. 18 points to 6 at the break. Good first half again for the Storm, but let's see if they can keep it up. We've seen them fall away in second halves before. Max says Galvin has some good games and bad games. He played really well against the Panthers. Youngie, a question. Who makes the 8? Storm or Doggies or both? Looking at it now. I think the Storm still make the 8. I've been saying that even when they were down in second last. I stand by that. It's going to be tough for them, of course, but they've still got some players to come back. There's been quite a few injuries for the Storm this season, obviously. So, yeah, I've had no question about it that the Storm will still make the 8 this season. Clint 007, you need Galvin to score and Warbrick to have a cup of concrete, harden up and get back out there and score. Taffy, ahoy mate. Bulldogs have come a long way since 2021 when they were considered the worst team in 93 years. Oh, no worries. Gamer Mel will just wave. That wave was for Gamer Mel. No, Joshua Neverfold. Will Warbrick spent a majority of that first half sitting on the sideline. Still got his jersey on. He still has his jersey on. That's an important little detail, of course, because as we know, players who get ruled out of the game, they switch into their polo or their training jersey or slap on a jacket and move up to the stands with the rest of the replacements. They don't normally sit on the bench on the sideline still with their game jersey on. So, Stephen Peake, ahoy, mate. All right, Wasted Water Sports crew, half time. Let's have a break, reset, reload, and we'll be back for all the second half action right after this. Cheers. Right, Wasted Water Sports crew, welcome back. Slim Shady, nice to see you again. Not the fake Slim Shady that's on TikTok. This is the real Slim Shady, I'm pretty sure, over on YouTube. Wasted Water Sports, of course, live each and every weekend on YouTube, on Twitch, and on TikTok. You just watched 3 ads. Oh, thank you, sir. Watching the ads, of course, does help the channel very much, so I personally appreciate it. James Chaplin says this guy is a legend. I wonder if he's talking about me. What were the ads, just out of curiosity? I've actually thought about doing my own commercials, like for my own products, I mean, think about, rather than watching some car insurance ad, you could watch an ad about Wasted Water Sports t-shirts. Merchandise. Anyone seen Spaceballs? Merchandising. Wasted Water Sports the t-shirt. Wasted Water Sports the lunchbox. Wasted Water Sports bobbleheads. All kinds of merchandise. I can only imagine what some of the commercials are. But anyways, I probably shouldn't speak badly about it because YouTube puts those commercials in, and that is, of course, how I get revenue from this YouTube channel. So I'll shut up about it. Halftime, 18 points to 6 in favour of the Melbourne Storm. Another solid first half. Can they keep it going in the second? I've got a feeling they can tonight. Just had a feeling about it. I don't understand how they were such rank outsiders coming into this game. I do understand Harry Grant and Cameron Munster are two massive, massive names to be absent from a team sheet. You just compare that with, okay, maybe you look at it and go, okay, the Bulldogs are missing Stephen Crichton, but he hasn't exactly been in the greatest of form anyway to start the season. Connor Tracy is out tonight. Not for Origin duty, of course, but Connor Tracy's just out tonight. And let's face it, Jacob Kiraz is as good a winger as Jacob Kiraz is. He's probably a better fullback option than Connor Tracy at the moment as well. So horribly out of form that he is. So yeah, maybe they've just looked at that and gone, well, Cameron Munster, Harry Grant, those are two massive, massive outs. Let's price accordingly. That's all I can think of. They were outsiders, Slim Shady. I'm telling you, man, it was madness. I think it was something along the lines, the last time that I checked, it was something along the lines of $1.75 favourites, Bulldogs, and like $2.35, $2.40 outsiders, Melbourne. And I so wish that I had have jumped on rather than, instead of jumping on, I devised this crazy same-game multi, of which half the players are now off the field injured. So I wasted my time anyway. Ivan Ward, ahoy, mate. Could I shout out Matty Bland? Ahoy, Matty. Cheers to Matty Bland. Can I ask a question, Ivan? Because you get me to shout out Matty Bland quite frequently. Best mate, brother. Just wondering what the connection is there. James Chaplin, you got Spear 2,500 tomorrow. Oh, I think he meant spare. I got a spare 2,500 tomorrow. Who would you go, mate? Just a second opinion. I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved. And I'll tell you why. Because the last time that I assisted somebody, and I'm not saying for 1 second you would do this to me, James. I'm just saying this is a reason why I'm very careful about what I say on live streams. Because I gave somebody an opinion on their multi once, and for some reason they went and doubled down on it. And then they came into the when it didn't pay out, they came into the chat room and were like, "You son of a bitch, you told me this was going to hit." Well, I didn't really. I just said it sounded like a good idea. It sounded like a good setup. Clint 007, thank you very much for the super chat over there on TikTok, not TikTok, YouTube. Thank you very much for the super chat there on YouTube, my friend. A good deed in hopes that God sees it and says, oh, have Warbrick back and look at him moonwalk over the line and score. Tizzo, ahoy, mate. Nice to see you as always. CM. Cheers. Teams coming back out on the field for the second half. And it will be Melbourne should have first use of it because they kicked off, I'm pretty sure, in the first half. Oh, look at Old Love here on the sideline. Well, not the sideline. Old Love here trying to get high fives from the players. She is literally whacking them on the shoulder. They're trying to run past and ignore her. She is having none of it. Whack. Stephen Peak, looking forward to Try July. YouTube. I heard something actually about they're considering, like, there's a bit of, I don't know, backlash, maybe not the right word, but yeah, like people are getting sick of, not you, obviously, Stephen, but people are getting sick of it or something. I don't know. I heard something about it. YouTube short, ahoy, mate, all the way from Papua New Guinea. And it is the Melbourne Storm with first use of it from the kickoff here in the second half. Big defense from the Bulldogs. Slim Shady says you got to try the new JD premix with Southern Lemonade. Interesting. Very interesting. $25 out from the line. Melbourne. Some big defense from the Bulldogs to start this second half as they look to work their way back into this contest. Sua Falongo. 10 short of halfway. Fifth and last. It goes back to Hughes. Kicks from well inside the 40. And Kiraz, very nonchalant under that high ball. And it's an easy take for him. Gets the late offload back as well for Rinakama. Charges into Nick Meaney. Oh, Meaney. Nick Meaney is just so heart in mouth stuff every time you see him in the defensive line. It's like, is he going to make this tackle or not? As the Bulldogs go into Storm territory and earn themselves a set restart. There's Jacob Preston up in the stands watching on. Tupanua on the burst. 30 metres out now, down this right edge. Galvin heading across field. For Burton, they continue left. Sherry, one-on-one with Meaney. Goes straight through, but he slips. That's the one-on-one matchup Sherry's been trying to get into all night long. Now Burton heading across field. Goes straight up the middle, Burton. Taken down from behind by McDonald. Just a couple of metres out here, the Bulldogs. Quick ball. Galvin goes short for Tupanua. Off the hip, and Tupanua bursts through in what should have been Jacob Preston's role. I reckon if Preston is still on the field, that's his ball. Tupanua gets it. The short one off the hip from Galvin. And Steli Tupanua. The first try of the second half early for the Bulldogs, much like we saw the Storm early in the first half. Great start to the second 40. And for the Melbourne Storm, are we about to see that same old story? A second half fade out. Oh, a couple of very impressed fans there. They're very happy about that. Yes. We stand and we applaud. And we Obama face. Try for Tupanua, 18 points to 10, kick to come. Johnson Ahupa. Ahoy, mates. The Doggies, I don't know, but they have lost. They've lost the way to win. Dragons will beat them. Hey, they're not out of this one yet. They are far from out of this one now. 18 points to 10, the kick to come from right beside the posts. Should be a simple conversion for Matty Burton. $10 meters to the right of posts. Burton. Oh, thought he hooked it, but no, he puts it through. Conversion successful. It's 18 points to 12. How are we feeling about Golden Point? I could go a Friday night Golden Point game. I don't know about anybody else. I'd be down for that. I'd be very pleased with that. We're coming back, says the man. 11130. Tupanua, I like his hair. It's kind of somewhat reminiscent to my hair. Back underway, and now Underhill. I reckon this Jack Underhill could be the new Big Red. What would we call him? Oh, here we go. Breaking news. Sean Bloor has now been ruled out. The Melbourne Storm players are dropping like flies now. Sean Bloor fails his HIA and will not return. But remember when Big Red Corey Horsburgh first sort of broke onto the scene and he kind of became a cult hero of sorts? I just wonder if Underhill's the new one as Burton goes through, links up with Salmon, gives it to Sherry, and Bronson Sherry dragged down from behind by Warbrick, who's back out on the field. Fifth and last, Burton puts the high ball up. The Bulldogs are all over them at the moment. Suafalongo attacks the ball, leaps into the air, and he takes it under immense pressure, 10 out from his own line. The gods have smiled upon ye. Because Clint 007, because Warbrick is back out on the field, plays the ball there 20 metres out from their own end. He's certainly not at 100% as he just meanders back out to his wing. Fifth and last. Cures from inside the 40. Melbourne cannot get out of their 40 at the moment. This might help, though. No, the ball rolls back infield. Sits up in the in goal for Kiraz, who gives it to Rinakama. He's taken down 10 out from his own line. Jerome Hughes looking to turn the game with another 40-20 attempt, but didn't quite pull it off on this occasion. Six and a half gone in the second half. Galvin turns it inside for Thompson. Fleck pass out the back for Tuala. Wasn't necessarily expecting it there, Enari. And that's play 4 for the Bulldogs. 30 out from their own line. Kiraz. Fleck pass out the back for Hayward. Galvin now switches direction. Back out to the left. Burton dummies and goes straight up the middle again. Forward pass to Galvin. And the referee calls it back. Melbourne will get their best field position of the second half. It's still early doors, of course, but this will be their best field position in the second 40. The pass was only about 2 meters forward. I don't know why the Bulldogs players are so confused. Matt Burton is absolutely blowing up about that call. I can't understand how he thought that was backwards. That is ludicrous. It was so far forward, Reece Walsh was impressed. But anyway, 40 metres out from the line, the Storm. Slow to play the ball. McDonald shuffles it on here for... waiting to see a number before I commit to the name. King angling back into the play the ball. Satrick scoops it up as it spills out the side, and it's called a knock on. Oh, the Bulldogs are pumped up, man. The Bulldogs, they are pumped. They have come racing in to pat each other on the back for this lost ball. And we're going to get a captain's challenge. The Storm, they sense that momentum slipping away very rapidly. And they've gone the captain's challenge. We are looking at another second half fade out here from the Storm. It's happening. It's happening. That is just a loose carry. That is a loose carry. He has lost the ball, and they have now burnt their captain's challenge. Oh, dear. Melbourne. Are we witnessing another second half fade out from the Melbourne Storm? It's going to be inconclusive. Inconclusive. They retain their captain's challenge. That could be critical. That could be crucial. inconclusive. They keep their challenge, but the Bulldogs get the ball. Nathan, ahoy, mate. You need Preston for your multi. Where is he? He is sitting in the grandstand watching the game because he got ruled out, unfortunately, injured in the first half. Leo Thompson to the 50-metre line. Good carry and into Storm territory. The Bulldogs well and truly on top here. Tupanua running the inside line. Back into the defence. 40 metres out from the try line. Quick play the ball. Hayward coming down the short side for Kiraz. Can't get through the tackle of Keegan Russell-Smith. 30 metres out. Hayward dummies down the short side. Back infield for Galvin. Out the back for Burton, who goes short for Salmon. And well taken down from Jay Hughes. Fifth and last. 20 metres out. Burton back into midfield for Galvin. Goes out the back for Kiraz. They're numbered up here, the Storm. Tuala gets through. Flick pass around the corner for Montoya. And Montoya can't get the ball to ground. Jerome Hughes is there. Suafalongo's there. I think Hughes has only just arrived, though. It was all Suafalongo getting his body under the ball. A try-saver. Potential match winner. Suafalongo puts his body on the line. Flips Montoya onto his back. And then the support troops arrive. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Montoya would have scored that. Was Montoya finishes the job there. Suafalongo, after a try-saving effort, now goes on a run. Melbourne up to halfway. Tackle 4. Warbrick plays it. They stay on that right edge. McDonald bobbles the ball again. It's got Butterfingers Jones at the moment. Hughes puts the high ball up. And Kiraz. Penalty to the Storm. Hughes was taken out after the kick. Penalty to the Storm. Where the ball landed. 10 metres out. Matt Burton with the late contact on Hughes. This will be about 10 metres out, halfway between touch and the goalpost, and Jay Hughes steps up and says, we'll have the 2. Or we'll have a shot anyway. They'll have a crack at the 2 points here. Just looking for scoreboard pressure here, the Storm. Oh, that's right. Notice this says pre-podcast. Montoya would have scored that. I forgot that he started a podcast. Maybe he's spending too much time on his content creation and not enough time on his footy training. Is that what we're suggesting here? It is an interesting thought because, I mean, I can tell you firsthand the amount of work that has to go into content creating. Maybe it's a distraction. We might start seeing things written into contracts. As the penalty goal is successful, Nick Meaney puts the penalty over and the Storm lead 20 points to 12. Yeah, I just wonder in this new digital age where podcasts and influencers, I just wonder if we'll start seeing contracts written about, we consider this a distraction. Your training, we want you to have lives on the outside and everything, but just make sure it doesn't distract from your actual job, which is to play footy. Anyway, interesting topic of conversation for another time, of course, as Melbourne now stuck inside their own 20 after the kickoff, but Joe Chan doing his best effort to take them out of here. Up outside the red zone, Lasardi, and now McDonald goes again. 10 short of halfway. Falongo beats the first tackle, links up in midfield with Chan. Almost has the ball ripped out. Fifth and last on halfway here, Melbourne. Hughes gets the kick away. A little bit of contact with him late again. Kiraz takes it on the 20 and scampers away. Stealing 10 metres before McDonald and King. And Lasati have him in midfield. And again, they can't bring him to ground. Jacob Kiraz maintains his feet. Impressive. Very impressive effort tonight from Kiraz. Bulldogs on halfway. Halfway through the set. Galvin for Burton. Quick hands. Now Sherry. On it goes to Rinakama, who can't reel it in from behind. And the Bulldogs come up with the knocked ball on halfway. Melbourne will go back in possession. It was a nice shift out to the left from the Bulldogs. Simple draw and pass was all that was needed. And Sherry just puts the ball a little behind Rinakama. And he can't get it in. $20 points to 12. Storm doing just enough at the moment. Scrum down, 10 short of halfway in midfield. Howarth goes in and away on Tuala. Brought down by Montoya and Galvin. They stay short side. Leo up over halfway. Brought down by Montoya. 40 metres out now the Storm. Slow play the ball as Leo was put on his back. Joey Chan takes another 5 metres. Inside ball from Keegan Russell-Smith. 30 metres out, Storm not really offering anything at the moment. Hughes dummies inside, can't get on the outside of Burton. And he's lost the ball, Jerome Hughes. He's going to captain's challenge it, I think. Yes, he is. Captain's challenge. Jerome Hughes was called for a knock-on. And he believes the ball's been stripped out here by Burton. Burton does have his hands on the ball. There's not really a stripping motion. One-on-one strip. Knock on Bulldogs. Challenge is successful. Jerome Hughes masterclass in captain's challenges. That is a masterclass in captain's challenges. Max King's gone on report for something. What? Oh, State of Origin next week. Can't believe it's come around again. The return of the old Panther. We're looking forward to it. They've coughed the ball up on play one. Bulldogs come away with it. And Kiraz looks to counterattack. Links up with Tupanua. Melbourne. Frustration. The first play after a successful captain's challenge. The Doggies now out to their own 40. Shifting it through the hands into midfield for Hayes. Put on his back in a two-man tackle. Slow play the ball. Hayward going down the short side now. Tupanua bends the line. Oh, he's a damaging runner, Tupanua. 2 left here for the Dogs. Back into midfield for Galvin. They continue out to the left. Burton for Sherry. One-on-one with Meaney. Beats the tackle. Steps back in field. Links up with Burton again. And Burton's inside the 20. Farlongo brings him down in a try-saver. Quick play the ball, though. Galvin goes. Fires it out. The cutout pass for Rinakama. And the Bulldogs hit back. Well, it wasn't really a cutout pass. They went through the hands. Salmon, I believe it was, onto Rinakama. And there were no troops back there. Jethro Rinakama. I still don't have his photo on the broadcast sheet. Bronson Sherry, one-on-one with Nick Meaney. That's what sets it up. Burton lurking back on the inside. Suafalongo, a try-saver. And then Galvin sums it up nicely from dummy half. Salmon draws in the outside man that was Warbrick. And if the pass sticks, Rinakama goes over untouched. The pass stuck. Rinakama went over untouched. Caden Murphy, ahoy, mate. 20 points to 16, the kick to come. Strap yourselves in, as they say. Grandstand finish coming up. Max, you just need Faulongo. With 23 minutes to go. Matt Burton, 10 in from touch on this left edge. Daniel Tinge says about time the Dogs show some bite. Burton moves in, starts it out to the left, bends it back down the middle. Conversion successful. 20 points to 18. And I tell you what, that decision for penalty goal by Jerome Hughes from the earlier penalty might prove to be an absolute, I don't know, oracle of a call. Just keeps them ahead. Keeps that scoreboard pressure on. Slim Shady says there was just a girl in the crowd who was so happy that he kicked that. It looked like she won the lotto. Hey, maybe she won one of her bets. Maybe she had Matt Burton for like 6 points. 6+ points in the game. She just won her bet. Congratulations to her. Bronson Sherry. He's gone into beast mode. Brings it outside the 20. Tries to milk the penalty or the 6 again and does so. 6 more for the Bulldogs. Well milked there, Bronson. Well milked. Galvin back inside for Hayes. 10 short of halfway. The Bulldogs on a roll. Galvin heading left again for Burton. Turns it inside for Sherry to go again. Oh, Bronson's been in beast mode this game. Halfway through the set. Underhill angling back into the play the ball. Offload for Salmon. And Nick Meaney jams in and shuts him down. Amos Terrence, ahoy, mate. Hayes. Oh, that's not Hayes. Sorry, that's King. Offloads back for Hayward. Galvin sending it right now for Tupanua. Tupanua tries to run over the top of Russell Smith. 5th and last, 30 metres out. Burton puts a high ball up. Oh, look at this floating bomb. Faulongo attacks it. Oh, Sua. That was impressive. Sua Faulongo attacking the ball. And he comes up with it in the air again. Howarth now bumps off a couple. Offloads for Warbrick. And Bronson Sherry races up on him. They shut the big man down. Sua Faulongo just continues to impress me under the high ball. It was one of his weaknesses. And he's turned it into a strength. Very secure under the high ball now. And here he is taking a strong carry. 10 short of halfway on the 5th and last. Hughes down the short side will put the kick downfield. Backing up for it. Kiraz takes it on the full. Brings it back into midfield. He's lined up by McDonald and King, driven backwards. And another slow play the ball. Kiraz is blowing up at the referee. Galvin gives him a pat on the back and says, come on, mate, Let's just get on with things. The Bulldogs riding this wave of momentum. Can they take it all the way to the lead? Hayward from dummy half. Galvin now in midfield. Space out on the left. Play shuts down in midfield. They come back to the right, though. Oh, they had the Storm outnumbered on the left. Now they go there, second phase. Burton spots the gap and goes straight through. Burton for the corner. Steps back inside Faulongo, who trips him up. Another try saver from Sua Faulongo. And then Burton can't get the ball away quickly. Underhill, back for King. King puts the kick over for Montoya, but Moses Leo takes it. We've got a penalty to the Bulldogs. The Storm were offside. Oh, the Bulldogs are fired up. They can take the 2 here and level it up. Matt Burton is having the best game I've seen him have since wearing a Panthers jersey. He is tearing them apart on that left edge. They're going to take a shot at the 2 here, the Bulldogs, and lock us up. The penalty is 10 metres out right in front. Simple 2-pointer. 19 minutes to go. Caden Murphy, you won a multi yesterday. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Melbourne, what is going on with their second halves? This team just cannot string a second half performance together. Yes, they're down on troops. But that can be no excuse, really. Matt Burton to lock the scores up. With 18.5 minutes to go. Taking his sweet time with this one. Just to the left of the post. 10 metres out. Moves in. Puts it down the middle. Burton locks us up. 20 points all. 18 minutes left to go. This is incredible. Melbourne had this game firmly in control. But it's the Bulldogs right on top. The home crowd loving it at the moment. Max says Sua Faulongo is literally everywhere on the field when defending tonight. He has been so impressive. His defense has been top-notch. Here we go. Underhill from the kickoff. Brings it out to the 10-metre line. The Bulldogs with all the momentum here. They're right on top in this one. But we're all locked up, 20 apiece, after a poor first half from the Doggies. Hayward goes short for Salmon, brings it up to the 40-metre line. 2 tackles left. Melbourne need to get their hands on the ball. Burton heading across field for Galvin. Tupanua for Tuala in space. Takes it up over halfway, 5th and last. Galvin goes for Burton. We're going to see a Burton special. Oh, it's a high floating bomb. Faulongo, he takes it well. And then he is creamed in the tackle by Montoya. But what a take by Sua Faulongo. That was a Burton special. Oh, and the Dogs driving Melbourne back to the 10-metre line. They've lost 10 on that play. All the momentum with the Doggies. This is fascinating stuff, the way this game... They've lost the ball here, the Storm. Tupanua comes away with it. Oh, Melbourne have absolutely bottled this big time. Look at the numbers out to the left, numbers out the wazoo. Galvin heads that way. Burton, draw and pass is all that's needed. Sherry, taken down by Jerome Hughes, 5 metres out. Now they're lined up to the right. The Bulldogs finishing strong. Underhill bumps off one. Oh, and then he falls to ground, bobbles the ball. Lost it. Big defence from the Storm. Oh, Jack Underhill. The cult hero. What an incredible take this was from Suafalongo, running at pace onto the ball as well. I mean, honestly, we have seen every fullback in the competition, every winger in the competition struggle with one of those Burton bombs. And Suafalongo just goes, yep, I'll just casually attack the ball and take it on the full. So impressive. What a huge let-off this is for the Storm, though. The Bulldogs coughing the ball up. 20 points apiece, 15 minutes to play. They had a full set of 6 inside the red zone. Scaife97 says, pathetic from the Storm. Got to feel bad for Bellamy having his health problems and his team aren't helping with the stress. Quick play the ball. As Tolau's back on the field. Gets the late offload for King, who takes it up over halfway. 5th and last. 14 and a half minutes to play. Hughes from halfway. The kick is charged down. This could go anywhere. Underhill dives on it. And a second effort almost takes him over the sideline. Oh, he's lost it again, says the referee. Underhill with a knock on. They will captain's challenge this immediately. Underhill thinks it's charged down. Making up for his earlier mistake. So here we go. Underhill with the charge down, and he's leaving the field. Let's see. Is there an early tackle from Hughes? Underhill dives on the loose ball. He's maintained possession. This is going to be a successful challenge. Challenge successful. Bulldogs will retain possession. He's got to go back out on the field and play the ball. Underhill had just left the field. He's now going to go back out there and play it. Oh, that's hilarious. Underhill with the charge down has left the field. He's now going to run all the way back over to the left side of the field to play the ball before he can come off. Leo Thompson had come back out. There we go. He's all the way back out there now. Underhill plays it, and he's straight off the sideline over the opposite side of the field. 14 minutes left to play. It's the Bulldogs on top, but we are locked up at 20 apiece. Big, big final play for the evening for Jack Underhill. Here's Thompson, fresh legs back on the field. 20 metres out in midfield, 13 and a half. Is it too early to think about drop goal? Points are at a premium at the moment. Kiraz down the short side. Held up by Suafalongo. No fullback here for the Storm. 5th and last coming up. Galvin grubbers in behind the line. Falongo appears out of nowhere, and Warbrick scoops it up to ground it in goal for a goal line dropout. Suafalongo made the tackle. And then I have said there's no fullback because he just made the tackle. And then suddenly he appears. He appears out of nowhere, Sua. Falongo goes, well, not really short with the restart. It's 35 metres out and an easy take for Rinakama. A nothing restart, really. Maybe Jerome Hughes needs to take over those. There's Jed Reardon's on the field here for the Bulldogs. They take it inside the 20. Galvin slips as he takes the ball in midfield. Has to surrender in that tackle. A dominant tackle for the Storm. Kiraz at first receiver. The drop-off for Tupanua. 15 metres out. 2 tackles left. Are they thinking drop goal? Galvin's not. He's heading left for Burton. This has been a damaging side of the field for the Dogs. Burton taken down 5 metres out. 5th and last. Galvin grubbers in behind the line again. It's lost by the Storm. 6 more. Oh, they've absolutely bottled this game so badly. 5 metres out from dummy half goes Hayward. A full set of 6. Galvin, short for Tupanua, and he coughs it up. Farlongo comes away with it. Counter-attack could be on. Farlongo goes to ground. Oh, boy, what a game. Tense. It's going to go down to the wire. Big carry from Moses Leo. Takes it outside the 20. 11.5 minutes to go. Slow play the ball. Leo stumbles. Did he cop a head knock there, poor Moses? We are now very, very rapidly approaching drop goal territory. 10 short of halfway. Blindside players on. Here's Howarth. Howarth runs into Tupanua. Tupanua takes him over the sideline. 10 short of halfway. The Bulldogs will be back in possession. The Storm just really, really low IQ plays here. In the game circumstance, in the conditions, a wet field, running down the short side, as soon as you go to ground, you're going to slide over the sideline, aren't you? Low IQ plays here from the Storm. 10.5 minutes to play. 20 points apiece. The Bulldogs, they will be in position at the end of this set. Well, assuming that they complete the set. Melbourne need to lift defensively. Try and force a mistake, get their hands back on this ball. Tackle 3 on the halfway line. Burton turns it back inside for Thompson. Beats the first tackle. 40 metres out from the line now. Big Leo. They probably won't be close enough. Galvin out the back for Kiraz. Taken down by Howarth. Celia, thank you very much for the 5 roses. 5th and last, Galvin puts the high ball up. Farlongo comes forward for it, and he takes it again. Farlongo. Very impressive once more under the high ball. But yes, Celia, thank you so much. 5 roses all the way from the Philippines. Much appreciated. Her and her husband's Melbourne Storm need to find a way to finish this game off as Jamin Salmon in back play, clutching at his wrist. We've already seen Preston go with a broken forearm. Has Salmon now busted his wrist? Reality check. Ahoy, mate. 5th and last. 9 minutes to go. Hughes gets the kick away this time. And backing up for it, backing up. Rinakama takes it on the full on the 20. The steam has just seemed to have gone out of the Bulldogs' attack at the moment. 8.5 minutes to play. Why do I get the feeling that this is golden point bound? Kiraz loses the ball out the back. Was it played at by the Storm? Montoya picks up the loose ball. Halfway through the set here. 10 short of halfway. The Bulldogs on play 4. They won't be close enough unless there's a line break. Galvin for Burton. This is where the line break could come. Beats the first tackle. Burton tries to spin out of the contact of Hughes. 5th and last, 30 metres out. Galvin puts the high ball up. It's going to land about the 20-metre line. Coming forward for it is Leo. It bounces off his head backwards, and Farlongo claims it for the Storm. 7.5 to play. 5 out from their own line here, the Storm. Moses Leo, where did this come off? He batted it back with his hand. And now they've lost it. Warbrick coughs it up. Numbers out to the left. Must be a try. Rinakama scores the match winner. Will Warbrick drops it cold. And Rinakama scores. The Bulldogs win. Will Warbrick with the dropped ball. And the Bulldogs had 72 on 1 out to the left. Simple draw and pass. Numbers out the wazoo. They had no chance of defending that once the error happened. That was it. Game, set, match. Bronson Sherry sums it up nicely. And Rinakama diving over for his second try of the night. Big second half from the Bulldogs. A second half fade from the Storm. Again. 6 minutes to play. This is kind of a big conversion now. Matt Burton from the sideline. You would think with 6 minutes to play, a successful conversion here means guaranteed that they can't lose in regulation time. You would think. Corey Gibbard says another 7-game losing streak. It's been a pattern. 2-game win streak, then 7-game losing streak. Will Warbrick, boy, he has had a shocker tonight. Poor fella. He has been absolutely atrocious. $24 points to 20, this conversion from the sideline. 5 minutes, 53 left to play. Burton. Can he secure the Bulldogs within regulation time? Taking his time with it. Burton. Moving in now. Strikes it on target. It's hooking across the face. The Storm will stay interested here. 24-20 as Rinakama leaves the field. Melbourne with 5 minutes 40 to go. They will go short, you would think. And try and get their hands on the ball. Five minutes, 46 left. What do they do here, the Storm? Do they back their defense and send it deep? It looks like they're going to. They're not set up for a short kickoff. Paolongo sends it deep. They're going to back their defense here. Galvin takes the kickoff. And King with the first hit up. They're backing themselves defensively here, the Storm, to keep the Dogs pinned down here. Montoya brings it out of the 20. GH 5Q 7Q. Ahoy. 10 short of halfway. That's a good carry there from Kiraz. Or is it? Yeah, Kiraz. Fifth and last now. Thompson. They just need a good kick. The Bulldogs. They've got through this set well. Hayward for Galvin to get the kick away. And he sends it deep into the Storm 20. Paolongo takes it on the full. And he heads back into midfield. Can't skip away from Burton on the kick chase. Warbrick. Oh, God, they risked. Oh, Warbrick's been folded here by Kurt Mann. Warbrick's poor night continues. Absolutely folded there by man. Sorfalongo into space. He could be the game breaker. Halfway through the set. Just now, bringing it outside their 40. Moses Leo. Taken down in midfield. 2 tackles left. Michael, ahoy, mate. 5th and last on the halfway line. Hughes puts the high ball up. Warbrick chasing through, but it's a little too heavy. Kiraz takes it at the back and gets away from Warbrick. Penalty to the Storm. Oh, this is massive. An escort against Will Warbrick, obstructing the kick chase. Captain's challenge immediately. They have immediately captain's challenged this, the Bulldogs. The penalty went to the Storm, obstructing the kick chase. Warbrick chasing through. And he's copped a bump there from Enari Tuala. Enari Tuala has definitely switched direction up here. He just goes boomfa, a cheeky little bump with the shoulder, and that's all it really takes. This is a big, big call here. The bunker still looking at it. Tuala. No clear obstruction. This is going to be a successful captain's challenge. Captain's challenge is successful. The call will be overturned. Bulldogs in possession. Three minutes 50 to go. That's big. That's a huge, huge moment of the game. Melbourne need to force the mistake. Thompson back into midfield. Bulldogs up by 4. 3 minutes 40 to go. They should get the ball back at least once here, the Storm. If there's no mistakes from the Bulldogs and no mistakes from the Storm, they may get one last crack at it. A full set of 6. Salmon takes tackle 4 on the halfway line. This is good work. Hayward for Kiraz. Man of the match performance so far from Kiraz, I reckon. Or Burton. Kiraz or Burton. 5th and last. Galvin will put the high ball up. They're keeping the Storm pinned down. Suafalongo attacks the ball again, and for the first time tonight, he coughs it up. His first drop ball, and it comes at the worst possible time. 3 minutes to go. The Bulldogs full set of 6, 10 metres out. That you would think will be the game. Kiraz now fights his way through and scores. Jacob Kiraz puts the exclamation mark on the contest. The Bulldogs have won. A second half fade out once again from the Melbourne Storm. 28-20, the kick to come from right beside the post. Kiraz, well, I called the man of the match performance. That just seals it for mine. That just seals it. Man of the match, Jacob Kiraz. Try confirmed. Welcome back to the winner's circle, Bulldogs. Well, they were $1.75 short-priced favourites for this match, and the second half showed us why. Jacob Kiraz, man of the match. Well, my man of the match. That's not official. There's nothing official about that call. That's just my opinion. 28 points to 20. Kick to come right beside the posts. I've already seen the try confirmed pop up on the screen. Matty Burton converts. 30 points to 20. Wow, a second half fade out of all. The Storm have only got 2 points this second half. 18 points to 6 it was at the halftime break. It has been 24 points to 2 in the second half. (24-2) in the second half. And now the Melbourne Storm go short with the restart. And they get the ball back. Knocked on by Melbourne. So they can't even get that right. Captain's challenge. Oh no. First knock on Bulldogs was the call. So the Bulldogs are launching a captain's challenge. And geez, they might win another one here, the Bulldogs. They might win another captain's challenge here, the Doggies. Kiraz has lost his backwards. And then Warbrick bats it back. And then it's off the ankles of Bailey Hayward. And then it's lost forward by the Storm. It's another successful challenge here from the Bulldogs. Wow. The Bulldogs have captains challenged their way to victory in this match. Another successful challenge. Wow. The Bulldogs have captains challenged their way to victory. They will get the scrum down. 1:42 to go. And the Bulldogs get themselves back into the winner's circle. 24 points to 2. They win the second half. Tupanua versus Tikamanu. Oh, yes, I want to see this. Bring back the biff. Tupanua going toe-to-toe with the Tikamanu. Oh, let him go. Let him go at it. Yes, I want to see that. Tupanua versus Tikamanu. Sign it up. Bulldogs on halfway. Melbourne trying to strip the ball. Hayward. But Kurt Mann up over the halfway line. 40 metres out now, the Dogs. Do they want more points? They probably want more points. Can they get them? Is where I was headed with that conversation. As Salmon trips into the contact. Staying down the short side here for Burton, who's been dangerous all night long. 20 metres out from the line now on the fifth and last. We've got time off. Oh, don't tell me Burton's hurt himself. It's a handover for the Storm. 37 seconds to go. Farlongo in midfield. The Storm's next 5 games, Roosters, Knights, Bye, Raiders, Sea Eagles. They could be in a world of hurt after that 5 legs. Tikamanu running straight. I'm surprised he didn't run it Tupanua after their little altercation. 8 seconds to go. This will be the final play of the match. Cutout pass left for Moses Leo. Gets through Montoya. Steps back inside Kiraz. And he's brought down 30 metres out to end the game. 30 points to 20, the Bulldogs. Well, they ended up winning it quite comfortably in the end, didn't they? Quite a comfortable victory. 30 points to 20, the Bulldogs get themselves back in the winner's circle in front of their home fans, and they're all smiles. Celia, thank you very much for the roses. 5 more roses there over on the TikTok. Thank you very much. Scaife97 says, sack the lot of them. They're all gone. Sack the lot of them. Honestly, what an embarrassment of a team. This is supposed to be the Melbourne Storm, damn it. Scaife97 not happy over there on the Twitch chat. And understandably, because this is a common theme now. Second half fade outs. How many games this year were Melbourne on top at half time and then have just completely dropped off in the second half? You can forgive it happening once or twice or a few times early on if it gets fixed up. They've shown no improvement at all in these second half displays. Even the games that they've won. Anyway, I'll be right back. All right, so Bulldogs back in the winner's circle. 30 points to 20. Doing it quite comfortably. Manuel Snow, you're roasting your old workmate, Melbourne Storm supporter. You got to love a good roast, right? You see, that's the thing. You've got to be able to cop. You've got to be able to give and take. If you give a roast, you've got to be able to cop it as well. That's what I always say. That's what we love here at the Western World of Sports. It's all meant to be in jest. It even says it in the theme song. It's all in jest. Got to be able to have a laugh. At the end of the day, it's just a game, right? That's what they say. A game full of tribalism and spirit. Carl, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. I much appreciate it. Slim Shady says, good job, Bulldogs. Reality Check 261 says, for those heroes who said Stefano Atikimanu should have been picked for Origin, can STFU now, overrated, goes missing in big games. Well, thankfully, I wasn't one of those people. I did not have Atikimanu in my Origin squad. That's for sure. But I'll tell you who else I didn't have. I didn't have Saifidi in there either. That was a bit of a bizarre one. But anyway, fingers crossed that Laurie Daly knows what he's doing. Fingers, toes, my testicles. I'm going to have everything crossed that he knows what he's doing. Yeah. Can't wait for next Wednesday. Yes, indeed. The return of the old Panther as well for State of Origin. Queensland have got a very solid team. I was talking about this the other night, actually. Slim Shady says Casey McLean looks like the snoz himself. Are you sure you don't mean Casey Maguire? Slim Shady? I was talking about this the other night. Yeah, sports bet. $2.45 outsiders, can you believe? Queensland. I know that the game is in New South Wales, game 1 in New South Wales. But that team that Queensland named, there is not a single weakness anywhere in it. I am New South Wales. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Blue. Born and bred Newcastle boy. But that team that Billy Slater picked, there is not a single... I can't poke a hole in it anywhere. How they are $2.45 outsiders with the team that Laurie Daly picked, where I can poke a few holes in. Now, granted, we are a little bit more critical of our own teams, right? The teams that we go for, we're a little bit more critical of them, in fairness. So maybe it's a little bit of that shining through. But, yeah, I can't understand the huge disparity in the odds. $2.45 outsiders. For Queensland can have the worst team in Origin history and not be $2.45 outsiders, if you ask me. Anyways, I think it's madness. I obviously won't be going for Queensland. As I said, born and raised New South Wales. I live in Brisbane now, but born and raised New South Wales. Novocastrian. But I'll tell you what, $2.45, I think that's worth a cheeky little punt. Because we know, State of Origin, how many times have we seen this story? We know what Queensland can do on Origin night. Mr. Ed's dead, ahoy mate. How are you, sir? All right, Wasted World of Sports crew, thank you so much for your company and hanging out here. As always, I much appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Wasted World of Sports live each and every weekend on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok. wastedsports.com.au is the website to grab all the links for all our other social medias and whatnot. So do feel free to check those out. I will be back tomorrow. Of course, we've got the... what games do we have coming up tomorrow? Once again, these are things I should know off the top of my head, but I don't. We have Dragons Wars and Manly versus the Titans. Okay, well, going to be a couple of floggings, I think. Hopefully we see some good games tomorrow, but I don't hold out much hope. All right. Thank you very much. Cheers, my friends. And we'll catch you guys next time. When did the Broncos play? They have the bye this week, the Broncos. A lot of teams have got the bye next week. This week, sorry. We will see the Broncos next... on Sunday, the 31st. So the Sunday after Origin. Broncos versus the Dragons. Ooh. Oh, Broncos supporters. You might hate me for even suggesting this, but backing up from Origin, Sunday afternoon, couldn't possibly bottle it, could you? The Broncos could not possibly, could they? Backing up after Origin, Sunday Arvo. Interesting to see. All right, anyways, I really do need to go. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll catch you guys next time. And yeah, let's... Hang on. You know what I haven't played in a while? I haven't played the intro video. And I know that this is the outro, but essentially, it's been a while since I've done it, so it might be worth doing it, because I mean we got these shout outs for a reason, so we may as well keep using them. Be back tomorrow. Cheers.
Wasted World of Sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack. Ahoy! He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.